Gopijana Bhagava Girivanadhari
Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari
Shodanandana Rajadana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Rajana
Yasodanandana Rajadana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Rajana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Tira Vanachari.
Go, Himandi. Om Jnanachavanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Mukum Kotachalam Bhagavate Yat Kripataraham Vande Shri Gurum Vinadhanam Vanchikapapibhyascha Kripasanivdevcha Patitanam Bhavanevya Vaishnavevya Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram. Today is a very auspicious day. It's the anniversary of Krishna speaking the Bhagavad Gita. We don't know exactly how many years, approximately 5,000 years ago. Krishna spoke this great classic Bhagavad Gita. Now, the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita being spoken was to externally convince Arjuna to fight. A lot of people, they don't like the Bhagavad Gita because it's about war. You know, people they don't like war. Not many people like war. There's a few that do like war, unfortunately, but most people don't like it. So I on book distribution, I have to meet that challenge. So I tell them, well, it was a war to stop evil. Just like Hitler pretty much wanted to take over the world, but he had to be stopped. And no one could go up and try to convince him with words. You know, Hitler's probably not such a good idea. You know, be nice. You know, don't be so cruel. He wouldn't. No, he had to be stopped with violence. So this is a similar situation. Actually, Krishna, he even went and tried to stop the war. He went to Duryodhana and said, "Listen, why don't we just avoid this war? Just give the Pandavas 5 villages. You know, the Kshatriyas, they got to manage something." And what did he say? "I will not give the amount of land that the end of a needle can go on." He was a little envious, just a little bit envious. So then it was inevitable, because Krishna, he wanted Yudhisthira to be the king. He was the rightful heir to the kingdom, and he was the most qualified. Dharmaraj. So he knew religious principles practically better than anybody. So Krishna wanted him to be the leader of the world, and he didn't want Duryodhana because you could say he was like Kali Yuga personified. Just greed, envy, lust, just terrible. Tried to kill the Pandavas. You know, apparently some of the most saintly people on the planet, tried to kill them, giving poison to Bhima, and tried to kill all of them. This house of lack. This is just really a very bad person. So Krishna didn't want him to be the leader. So it was inevitable that the war would take place. But there was a problem. That problem was that Arjuna, who was one of the main kshatriyas, actually amongst the Pandavas, he was the main, because he was such a great archer, powerful. But he didn't want to fight. And good reason why he didn't want to fight. He had to fight against his grandfather, who was loved by everyone. Both sides. Everybody loved grandfather Vijaya. So he was being asked by Krishna to fight his most beloved. He was his teacher. He was raised by Bhishma. I mean, God, you know, what greater test can there be? You're supposed to kill the person who you love practically more than anyone else. Probably love Krishna more. Other than that, Bhishma was just so much loved and appreciated. So he was being asked to do something that the one thing that he would not want to do, he was being asked to do. And then also Dronacharya, his teacher. Both of them he had so much affection for him. So he's being asked to not just fight him, but to kill him. Very difficult. So then Krishna, he said, Asocham Ambasochastra. You're speaking not like a learned person. You're lamenting for that which wise people, they don't lament over. You're lamenting over the body. No one's going to die here. Krishna. It's amazing, during a battle, there's everything is, very grave and stern. What is Krishna doing? Smiling. Krishna, he's the only one out there, I'm sure. He was the only one out there smiling. Because he had complete knowledge of the truth. No one dies. Either he's going to go to heaven if he's killed, or he enjoys the kingdom. So, the Tvevaham Jatu Sadnasa, the Twamdaveda. There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor any of these kings, nor in the future will any of us cease to be. This is the first instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada says in one purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the essence of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita is that everybody is a soul. And everybody, the second part of this essence is that everybody is the eternal servant of Krishna. So this is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. And it wasn't something just for Arjuna. This is meant for thousands and thousands of years. Now it's been 5,000 years. And so many people are getting an inspiration, becoming devotees from reading the Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure today somebody become a devotee. Yeah. Every day, so many people, thousands of people are reading the Bhagavad Gita and getting inspiration from it. So this is God. When God speaks, people listen and are inspired. There used to be a commercial, I forgot the name of the person. When speaks, people listen. But actually, when Krishna speaks, not everybody listens. Some people. Duryodhana didn't listen. Actually, when Krishna came to try to bring peace, he thought he would capture Krishna, tried to capture Krishna. And what did Krishna do?
Universal form.
Oh yeah, hey, Tim's right on the ball there. Good, yeah. The universal form. Hey, how are you going to catch a universal form? Good luck, right? So and they just thought, oh, this is just some mystic, it's just some mystic ability that he couldn't catch the greatness of Krishna. So then, of course, he spoke the Bhagavad Gita. So much wonderful wisdom. And therefore, Prabhupada said you could read the Bhagavad Gita thousands of times, and each time you read it, you get new insight. It's timeless wisdom. It doesn't get old. So I thought we would read the setting of the scene. What's interesting is the Bhagavad Gita starts with Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra about Samaveta Yusava. That please tell me, Sanjay, what's happening here in this battlefield? Sanjay, he had this mystic ability. He could see what's happening, and even he could hear, and therefore he was speaking. It's amazing. He was speaking. Everything that was being spoken by Krishna and Arjuna, he was speaking to Dhritarashtra. It's amazing. He had Prabhupada said, like a television. Not black and white, it's color. Color television. And it's mentioned that Arjuna, he asked 33 questions in the Bhagavad Gita. And of course, Krishna, he's the best at giving the answers. And the first one is Karpanya Dosho Bhatas Svabhavas, which Prachchamis and what? Karpanya Dosho Bhatas Svabhavas. Anyway, he says, now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure due to miserly living. Now I'm asking, please, what is my duty? What should I do here? First question. He was confused. What should I do in a situation like this? So Krishna went on to explain his duty. He's a kshatriya. He said, even if you don't fight here, it's your nature. You're going to fight. It's your nature. You're a kshatriya. So Krishna explained so much, and he explained about his nature. You have to do your duty, and then he went on to devotional service. You have in this endeavor, there is no loss of generation. A little advancement on this path protects the most dangerous type of fear. So this is actually a service to Krishna, fighting for the righteous cause of bringing Yudhisthira to be the king. So it's a very important service, because to have such a great king as a world leader, that means that people are going to follow. Like, who would not want to follow? Imagine we had King Yudhisthira here as the president of the United States. Wow, that someone so powerful. So, the result was that Yudhisthira, he became the king, and he ruled for many years. And the people were so happy to be led by Yudhisthira. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he says, Brahmanda Brahmati Brahmanda Brahmati Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Pasane Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. That the living entities that are wandering higher planetary systems or lower and suffering so much from the higher planetary to the lower, wherever there's birth and death, there's disease, there's just so much suffering. So the human form of life, it's an opportunity to get out of this cycle of birth and death. We're like in the convalescing stage, where we're trying to get better. Now we're trying to become devotees. So we could get better, or we can also become worse, right? So we have a choice. You can't just stay, convalescing. If you get better, you get worse. So we're trying to get better. We're trying to become healthy again. Healthy means we're Krishna conscious. And unhealthy means Maya conscious. So we're trying to get out of the Maya consciousness. And Krishna, he is trying to convince Arjuna to also be conscious of what he wants. He says, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. Yet Kuroshi, Yadasana, all that you do, all that we do should be done as an offering to Krishna. So he's telling Arjuna, all that you do, it's an offering to me. All that you eat, all that you offer, all that you give away, all those stares you perform should be done as an offering to me. So Arjuna is a very fortunate soul. That actually he's with a transcendental roadshow, because wherever Krishna goes, Arjuna is there. So he's not speaking this for Arjuna's benefit. Arjuna he's a pure devotee. He's playing the role. It's like a drama, and he's playing the role of someone who doesn't know what to do. But he knows what to do. This is these pastimes and Nitya Lila, eternally going on. So Krishna has spoken the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna many times. We don't know how many, but many times, because he's always traveling with Krishna. But we're hearing it. Maybe for the first time. Maybe we've heard it in other lifetimes, because we've also lived before. Hopefully this time we'll take it more seriously and take it to heart. It's like Arjuna heard the Bhagavad Gita, and then Krishna, he said, Iti te jnanam akyatam guya gyatamam vimrsadashesha yatejsi tatakuru. He said, now I've explained to you knowledge which is even more confidential. Now you deliberate on it fully and do as you wish to do. This is Krishna. He gives us free will. We don't have to do anything. But if we want to be happy, then we have to do what Krishna wants. And therefore Arjuna said, Nasto mohan smriti lavta karishye vachanam. Now my memory of you has awoken. My illusion is gone, and now I'm ready to act as you have instructed. So this is also should be our mood after hearing Bhagavad Gita. My illusion is gone now. My memory of you has awoken, and now I'm ready to act as you have instructed. This, if we speak like this after we hear Bhagavad Gita, then we heard it nicely. And we'll get the result. Also, we'll get Krishna's mercy. If we surrender to Krishna, sarvadhamam parija, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me, all free from all sinful actions, do not fear. So this is also extremely important instruction given by Krishna. Just focus on Krishna. Just like if you have one of these magnifying glasses and you have it near the sun, then it burns, you know, in the paper. And if you have a big one, and its focus, it can cause bigger fire, right? So if we focus on the instructions of Krishna, then the result will be we'll extinguish the blazing fire of material existence. And the fire of Krishna, actually the fire of Krishna consciousness will remove this Maya. Prabhupada gives that, we could do it both ways. Extinguish the blazing fire of material existence, or this fire of Krishna consciousness can remove the Maya, the contamination. But we have to focus. Vyavasyatmika bhutir. Ekeha kunat bahusakhinat buddhayo. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose. And their aim is one. But however, the intelligence of those who are not on this path, many branch. So Prabhupada said that, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he got great inspiration in this verse. And Prabhupada also, he expressed how important this verse is to focus. One pointed attention. It's like they have these, in the horse races, they have these things that they can just focus, you know, don't get distracted. There was a devotee in the early days. There was a devotee. He had, you know, they have these harmonicas. You know, harmonica. They have these things. You put them in here, and you could just. It's attached to your shoulder, and you could just play. So he had a picture of Krishna. Fired up the old days, yeah. Well, looking where he's going, but he's got Krishna. So yeah, we have to focus Krishna, and then just as Arjuna, he got the result of winning the battle. So certainly we can win this battle. We all have an internal battle with Maya. Fortunately, we have Krishna. One devotee asked Prabhupada, if the purpose is Krishna, is to be Krishna conscious, then why does Krishna make Maya so difficult to cross? And Prabhupada said, your purpose is not strong enough. Our purpose has to be strong. Maya is very powerful, but if we have strong purpose, then we can overcome. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of nature, is very difficult to overcome, but those who surrender to me can very easily cross beyond it. Radhanath Swami was saying, he said this is an understatement. Maya is very, very, very difficult to overcome. But if we surrender to Krishna, then we can overcome. And Krishna, he's very kind. Actually, he wants us to go back to the spiritual world more than we want to go back. Because he doesn't like to see us suffering. He's our kind Father, so he doesn't like to see so much suffering. So much suffering. There's this one gentleman here that's I gave a book to, I think last year, and he's chanting, he's reading, and he was telling me how difficult it is. You know, his wife said, "I'm going to destroy you." His wife. She said, "I'm going to make all your friends your enemies," and she did. the material world, it's a place of suffering. But I said, well, in one sense, it's a blessing because now you're taking shelter of Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's people out there that they have nice families, nice children, nice wife, and we try to give them a book. No, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very common. It's a common mantra we hear.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, they're very unfortunate to be in the material world thinking everything's good, because then they continue on.
Mm-hmm.
But when things get difficult, that's when people start taking shelter of God. Therefore, there's the statement that there's no atheist in a foxhole, because the bullets are going over the foxhole. It's a little ditch in the war, and the bullets going in. They can feel the air. So even the atheists, they pray to God. There was one friend of mine. He was in the Vietnam War, and a platoon, a group of soldiers, they were being dropped from a helicopter. And as soon as they landed, they were being shot by the Vietnamese. And my friend he was shocked. All alone, I've seen his friends getting shot. So he started praying to God, shouting, "God, please save me! Save me! God, please save me!" And he was shouting so loud, Krishna saved him. And when he got back, he shouted so loud that when he got back, he became a devotee. So that was a blessing, that difficulty, because he was smart, took shelter of God. So, difficulties. Therefore, Queen Kunti, she prayed for difficulty. Because when difficulty comes, then I take shelter of you. By taking shelter of you, then I overcome the repetition of birth and death. And Krishna, before the war took place, Krishna told Queen Kunti, none of your children will be harmed. Now, how many people were in the battle? Anybody know?
640 million.
640 million people. And they practically all died, but not the Pandavas. The Pandavas didn't get a scratch. And when Kunti saw that so many people died, but none of her children were harmed, she said something amazing, that the stars may fall from the sky, the sun may stop shining, but Krishna's word will always be true. She was amazed that none of her children were harmed, but her 5 grandchildren they were killed. By who?
Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama. And I heard that he's still in the Himalayas, suffering. He can't die, he's just suffering. Imagine that. The most atrocious thing he did, and he got the worst reaction also. So, better to always do what Krishna wants. And Krishna, actually the Bhagavad Gita, it's an instruction guide for the human form of life. If we just do what Krishna wants us to do, according to the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, then we go back to God. And therefore Prabhupada told many devotees that they were having difficulty, he would tell them, just read a chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day, and that will help you. So therefore we have Chad. Because there was one man said to Prabhupada, we're so unfortunate. Arjuna was so fortunate, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to us. But we don't get that opportunity. Prabhupada said, no. Just reading Bhagavad Gita is just like Krishna's there speaking to you. No difference. Reading the words of Krishna, actually in one sense, we're more fortunate. We could read it every day. Arjuna didn't hear it every day. He heard it for maybe an hour. That was it. He never heard it again. Of course, he's smart. he caught the message and he surrendered to Krishna. But we get to read it every day. So in one sense, we're more fortunate. Now we just have to strictly follow the teachings, and then we'll get the result also. We'll get the result that Arjuna got. So many devotees. We got this nice result. There's a pastime of Lord Chaitanya where there was a person. He was a Brahmana, but he was illiterate, and his spiritual master told him to read Bhagavad Gita. Maybe he didn't know that he was illiterate.
Oh.
So he's mumbling. He's trying to read it, and others who knew that he couldn't read, they were kind of making fun of him. So Lord Chaitanya came by and he could see the situation. He said, "So, my dear Brahmana, what are you doing there? I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, but I can't read. But then I see you have tears in your eyes. You can't read, but what is this?" He said, "When I see the picture of Krishna as the charioteer of Arjuna, it brings tears to my eyes. I'm just amazed how kind Krishna is." And Lord Chaitanya, what did he say? "You're the actual scholar of Bhagavad Gita, because you're seeing how compassionate Krishna is." So yeah, this is he's given his heart to Arjuna, and he's given it to us also. He's revealing his mind. God is revealing his mind to Arjuna and to us. God is revealing his mind. So we just read, we understand the mind of God. Somewhat, not completely. No one can understand Krishna completely. But we're getting a pretty good understanding of what is the heart of Krishna. What is the heart of Krishna? Devotion. Devotion. Yeah. And therefore he says, Tesam sadat yuktana. Bhajatam pritipurvakam. Dadami buddhi yogam yenamo. He says, to those who are constantly devoted to me and worship me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. He gives the intelligence. This is the kindness of Krishna. If he sees that we're really sincere and serious, and that we want to surrender to him, then he gives the intelligence. Dhyam pati. He gives the intelligence by which we could go to him. So, yeah, we have to pray for that. That's what the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra is. I was at Berkeley University many years ago, maybe 30 years ago, and there was one person. He was mocking all the different religions, the Christians and the Muslims. And then I thought, all right, you'll probably get on the Hare Krishnas. I was distributing books there, and he said, and the Hare Krishnas. He said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, I got it. Why you guys gotta keep on going? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I got it. But when you get it, when you actually get it, then you're out of illusion. So he doesn't know that. Yeah, okay, you memorize the mantra, but it's much more than that. The goal of the mantra is to develop pure devotion for Krishna. Then you got it. That's the goal. He doesn't know. Just that he's got an external, just the sound. But it's much, much deeper. The meaning of the mantras. Please, please, Krishna, engage me in your loving service. So when we have that mood, constantly, please, Krishna, I just want to serve you. Then we got it. Then we have achieved the desired result of reading Bhagavad Gita. So there's a few minutes left. Maybe we could leave some time for questions or comments. And also online, if anybody has a question online. Is it open so that if they say something, we'll hear it?
Volume is turned down.
Oh. Yes.
Thank you for the class. Wonderful class. I have a question in terms of Arjuna's service. So I understand that Arjuna is in the spiritual world, serving Krishna as a warrior, as a charioteer.
No, not in the spiritual world. So Krishna, when he comes to the material world, he goes. He's always like when he actually it's described that when his pastime of speaking Bhagavad Gita, it's going on in another universe. And when Krishna he kills the demon Putana, then it's going on another. So Krishna's pastimes are going on continuously. Now, the Bhagavad Gita is not being spoken in the spiritual world. That's only here because no one needs to hear the Bhagavad Gita in the spiritual world. They're already there. They're with Krishna. So, but he's always going. Krishna's traveling around different universes, doing these pastimes, Nitya Leela, eternal pastimes of Krishna. Yeah, it's kind of inconceivable, but yeah, it's always right now. Krishna's speaking the Bhagavad Gita somewhere toward you. It's amazing. One of those achintya. Achintya means inconceivable. So. But you can.
Well, if he's always speaking to him, is he hitting him with yoga maya so that way his listening is more sincere? You know what I'm saying? Or else he's gonna be, oh yeah, I know he's home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've heard that before. Yeah. No, yeah, he's kind of yoga maya.
Oh.
Yeah. Like he's never heard it before. So, like I said, it's a drama. Yeah. So Krishna. Just like when in the spiritual world, they don't know that Krishna is God. So they think that Krishna is just their friend. So that's yoga maya. They're in maya. It's actually, if you think about it, everybody's in maya. We're in maya here. They're in maya there. And the people who are in Vaikuntha, they think Narayan is supreme, but they're in maya because Krishna is supreme. So everybody's in some type of maya. But the yoga maya, that's the type of maya. That's the maya that we want. Not Mahamaya. Mahamaya, we're just an illusion thinking that we're the body. But we want yoga maya, where Krishna covers up who he is, and we could be Krishna's friend or Krishna's mother or father or lover.
So in the beginning, you mentioned that Krishna spoke this in the war. So many people ask why Krishna wanted to encourage battle. And you mentioned that Krishna did a peace. He tried to have this peace negotiations. Was it just a formality? Because as you also mentioned, that Krishna wanted to install Yudhishthira as a king. So how do we understand both of these things?
It's kind of like a formality. Yeah, he wanted to make it like he wanted to actually stop the war. He's a good guy, and that's there when they say that. So Krishna actually tried to stop the war.
Yeah.
But Krishna knew that Duryodhana he's not gonna give any villages. But he thought anyway. I'll give it a try. And Yudhishthira also, actually many of them didn't want Krishna to go because they knew Duryodhana, he's not gonna budge. But Krishna wanted to at least give it the try. Say, I tried. Yeah.
Was Sanjay just in the battle somewhere?
Sanjay, no, he was at the kingdom there with Dhritarashtra. Yeah, Dhritarashtra, he's blind. So Sanjay, he's his servant, probably his whole life. And what's interesting is Dhritarashtra he spoke the first verse in the Bhagavad Gita, and Sanjaya spoke the last verse. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partha Tatra Sri Vijaya Divanya Tiruma. That's the last verse. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there's Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will certainly be Tatra-shi, there'll be opulence, Tatra-shi Vijaya, there'll be victory, Tatra-shi Vijaya Buddha, there'll be extraordinary power and morality. So although he's fighting a war, it's a moral war. It's a moral war to stop evil. It's like I mentioned Hitler. It was a moral war against Hitler because he was evil. He was killing millions and millions and millions of people. And he wanted to just keep going. And if he had not stopped, we would all be speaking German here. Right? He would have just kept going. He was a madman. He just kept on going. So it was good. He was stopped with violence. That was the only way. So certainly Duryodhana, that was the only way he would have been stopped. Violence.
Duryodhana is also a pure devotee. He's just part of the Leela playing that part.
Well, I wouldn't say he's a pure devotee. He's it's an interesting question. I don't know if he's part of the Nitya Leela. To be the bad guy. The eternal bad guy. What bad karma that would be.
I don't want that role again.
Huh?
I don't want to do that role again.
Yeah, not a nice role. Yeah. Always fighting against pure devotees and Krishna. That's interesting, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki